All right, man. Talk to talk. You know what it is, man. We back at it, baby. Hey, how y'all doing? All right, so happy Sunday to y'all. So I figured I wanted to do this episode a long time ago, but it's the appropriate time to do it now because he has dropped the album. So this is the end of the weekend era, and we're gonna talk about this. I got a lot to say. And this is pretty interesting. And we want to see where he goes from here. So look, before I get into that, I gotta get my spill. This is Touch to Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me wait for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me a hidden gem. Went from 1,300 subscribers to over 15,000 subscribers. And let me know what king you from. I am the king of the north. So let's get to it, man. This is gonna be a goodie. Let's get to it. All right, man. So let's get to it, man. Let's go.
The weekend is dead. Weekend, baby. You don't know what's in store.
The weekend might have a drug problem.
I want you to say.
I can't really see myself returning to much on this album.
My biggest regret would maybe be not communicating with each other when we had something beautiful going on.
I always told myself if I could be successful coming from where I came from, then I could do anything.
This is the weekend before the label. Abel was a lonely kid. His father left him when he was 12.
All right. So let's get to this. Yeah, The Weeknd, man. He's a very interesting artist to me. He's always been an interesting artist. I think that he kind of stood out when I first heard some of his earlier work from YouTube. Actually was put on to The Weeknd by this beautiful Dominican woman. She actually introduced me to The Weeknd, and it was like at first. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I hated the music at first. I hated it. But then I don't know what I was doing one day, and one of the songs came across my my timeline on YouTube. It was just like on shuffle, and I remember hearing that song when I was with her, and I was like, I think it was High for This. I think it was High for This, and I said, "Whoa, this song!" I said, because it's like sometimes you listen to The Weeknd, sometimes some of his music you would hear, and then a month later, you don't even realize that was him, and you hear it and you say, "This is fire," and he said, "Oh, like you heard it a long time ago." So that's basically what happened with me with High for This, and because I think I walked into the middle of the song, but I didn't hear the beginning, and then that part came and was like, "Ooh," you know what I'm saying? Said you don't know, and I was like, "Yeah," I was, "This is crazy," and I realized that it was The Weeknd, and then. And it was all up from there.
Old, and his mother had to work 2 full-time jobs just to keep a roof over their head for the label. Abel was a lonely kid. His father left him when he was 12 years old, and his mother had to work 2 full-time jobs just to keep a roof over their head and food on the table. Most days, Abel would walk around a silent apartment, and the only company that he had was music and occasionally his grandmother. By the time he was 12 years old, he started skipping classes, smoking pot, and really just not giving a fuck. But then came a breaking point in the 11th grade.
I love how these dudes be doing these little mini documentaries, like as if like they really knew these people personally. Like he broke it down. Like he started skipping class, smoking weed. Like, bro, shut up. No, I mean shut up like that. But I'm just saying. Yo, it's just funny how these dudes do these documentaries. But you gotta commend these dudes because they put a lot of hard work in. Excuse me. A lot of hard work. And it's pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie.
He woke up and realized, I can't do mother. By the time he was 12 years old, he started skipping classes, smoking pot, and really just not giving a fuck. But then came a breaking point. In the 11th grade, he woke up and realized, I can't do this anymore. So he picked up the phone and called his friend. Yo, I'm done. I'm dropping out of school. I got this new place. I need a roommate. Are you in? And then his friend said exactly what Abel wanted to hear. fuck it, I'm in. So Abel grabbed his mattress, threw it in the back of a truck, and left and never came back. And that's how he got his name, The Weeknd, because from that point on, the unimaginable would happen. Abel ended up moving.
Okay, so I don't know how he got his name, The Weeknd. So we just got to go off of, excuse me, we just got to go off of if this is true, what he's saying. So if he's saying that that's how he got his name, okay, cool. Like, I thought he got his name another way. I heard it was a different way, but you know what I'm saying? I'm guessing that this is what it is. So let's keep it going.
Into an old dingy home in Toronto. The paint was chipping, the windows were all smudged, and every single time you took a step, you'd hear a fucking creak. You'd walk in and get hit with this thick, lingering smell of weed, cigarettes, and beer. And when you saw him, you could tell that he'd been up for days, partying, hanging out with girls, doing all sorts of drugs. He was at an all-time high. That was until he would come down and feel the raw.
He said he was at an all-time high. How you gonna say he was going through all these things and say he was at an all-time high? Oh, I get it. All-time high. Come on, dog. He was at an all-time low. He's at an all-time high. That was pretty funny. I like that. Let's keep it going.
Aftermath, guilt, regret. Up for days, partying, hanging out with girls, doing all sorts of drugs. He was at an all-time high. That was until he would come down and feel the raw aftermath. Guilt, regret, loneliness. But he kept doing it because he was stuck in a cycle he couldn't escape. Every single day was a party, which is why they named that house the House of Balloons. Well, eventually things got so bad that they would have to steal food from the supermarket just so they could eat. And eventually Abel found himself homeless. He would ride the buses.
I don't know where he getting all this information from. I don't know if he gathered this information from people, if he had a interview with certain people. I don't know. But I do know that he was homeless because he said that. I seen that. And he did say that they were stealing. In one of his songs, he didn't say they stole from the supermarket. He said they stole dude's Jordans and they flipped them just to get some more nose candy. You know what that means. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly where he's getting all this. I guess the thing is when it comes to stuff like this, it's basically all subjective. It's all like, okay, I'm gonna give you my version of what I believe happened, but I'm gonna put it in a way where I can't really be wrong, and you don't know if I'm really right all the way, but I don't have to be accurate because I'm giving you such a broad, vague interpretation of something that I can't really be wrong about it. So was he on drugs? Yeah, he was on drugs. Did he steal? Yeah, he stole. Did he steal from the supermarket? Like, you don't give out any specific places. I mean, things maybe, but not any specific places. Like, he was at supermarket A and he stole a bunch of chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I get it that some of these people do this with these documentaries. You know what I'm saying? But again, like, unless he gathered this information from a bunch of interviews, and he rarely does interviews, then, you know, he could just have to we have to leave it up for interpretation, which is pretty cool. I kind of like seeing these people do these things. I think it's pretty interesting. Let's run it back a little bit. Also, too, this is House of Balloons, which is classic. Like, to me, House of Balloons, if you haven't heard House of Balloons, I'm sure y'all have. If you heard the trilogy, then you probably heard House of Balloons. But if you go to House of Balloons, listen to House of Balloons and tell me what y'all think about it. This is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to go back and listen to all the old Weeknd stuff before he was actually famous, and see how he pushed R&B in such a different direction. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, to this day, no one has ever captured his sound. His sound is unique to the point where it's like people try it, but I think they can't get with it or whatever. Now, I will agree with this. The Weeknd sound is intoxicating music. That's what I'm labeling it as. Intoxicating music. So since his music is intoxicating music, this is what, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people try to gravitate towards, but they just fail at it. They can't do what he do because he kind of created that. You know what I'm saying? He created that. So let's keep it going.
House of Balloons. Well, eventually things got so bad that they would have to steal food from the supermarket just so they could eat. And eventually Abel found himself homeless. He would ride the buses all night just so that he could stay warm. And during the day, he would wander the streets of Toronto and oftentimes sing to people on the sidewalks.
So used to hardly ever sleeping and roaming the streets of downtown Toronto with no care and motives.
Bro hit an all-time low. He sat back and thought, I need to do something. I know I'm good at writing songs. Honestly, the only way I see myself surviving is if I write for other people. So he ended up getting a job at a production company. But there was a problem.
Now, here's the thing, too. We all got to understand how all of this culminated. You're a homeless guy, and you writing music, but you don't really know where to go, what to do with this music. And being such a talent that he is, I think that at the time, The Weeknd didn't really want nobody to know how good he was, or he was maybe shy about it, because there's a lot of people who can actually sing. They just don't have a direction or a vision. And you put them in a studio, they might bomb because they don't really know what to do. So you got to find somebody that's responsible enough to push them in the right direction. And I think that that's probably what happened with him. Well, obviously, that's what happened with him.
Nobody wanted his music. They thought they were weird and just a little too different. And that's when he said, okay, if they won't take my songs, then I'll have to sing them myself. And that's when he met a guy by the name of Jeremy Rose and pitched him a dark R&B sound that was real, raw, and full of experiences from Abel at the House of Balloons. So they book a...
I gotta say this. Why you got your hat cocked to the side like that, Weeknd? Yo, that's gotta be some old, well, we used to do that, I ain't gonna lie. You just cock that joint to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that joint cocked all the way to the side. Look at this. Bruh.
Myself. And that's when he met a guy by the name of Jeremy Rose and pitched him a dark R&B sound that was real, raw.
He got that joint. That joint is like, like you're part of the Little Rascals. That joint is all the way to the side. Damn.
Full of experiences from Abel at the House of Balloons. So they book a studio session and come up with The Morning, Loft Music, What You Need, and they made it all in one sitting. Now, by the time they finished recording these, Abel had no idea what to do with these songs. He was insecure and he didn't want people to judge him. He was everything an R&B singer wasn't. So he made a YouTube...
See, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. He probably was insecure or whatever. He didn't want nobody to know who he was, obviously, because he made the Faceless YouTube channel. But I think that was genius. I think that was genius, man, because nobody was doing something like that. That was genius. That was genius. That was genius.
Account under The Weeknd, no photos, no description, no links, no anything, and clicked upload. Psh, that would never work, right? But it did. Every song went absolutely nuts. People started to fall in love with the music. They're like, what is The Weeknd? Who is The Weeknd? Is it a producer? Is it a band?
I've been getting a lot of requests for this.
I just found out about The Weeknd.
Who the hell is this guy?
The Weeknd knew he was onto something, so he decided to drop a mixtape called The House of Balloons. It was the best decision that he could have ever made because it reached Drake, one of the biggest rappers in the world and a Toronto native.
I remember all this. I remember my Dominican friend was telling me that he was signing to Drake, and I swear to you on everything, I said, I don't know about The Weeknd, but if he signs to Drake, Drake is gonna overshadow him. I'm telling you now. And she was like, no, I think Drake is going to work with him and they're going to do good. I said, okay. I said, Drake is going to overshadow him because Drake is the biggest guy. And I think Drake wasn't as corrupt as he is now back then, but I kind of seen it coming.
This was the Weeknd's breakthrough moment until it became a nightmare. You see, Drake immediately invited him over to the studio where they would work on Take Care together. The Weeknd ended up contributing to 6 songs and giving up half of his album so that Drake could use those songs on Take Care. The Weeknd knew that he was on the verge of blowing up. So to keep the momentum going, he dropped Thursday with a feature from Drake. And then came Echoes of Silence, which pretty much had every single label wanting to sign him. At this point,
I remembered it too. From House of Balloons to Thursday to Echo of Silence. The crazy part about the Weeknd's album covers, they were so different. You know what I'm saying? From any album cover, it just looked like, I don't know if you ever went into like a ShopRite or whatever. They used to have these things called no frills, right? Basically, it was like you could get, let's say you get Frosted Flakes. You get Frosted Flakes, no frills Frosted Flakes. It would be flakes that's frosted or something like that, right? They used to have one, but I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But that wasn't no frills, but I'm going to tell you about the best cereal of all time. And if you see it on on Amazon, buy it. Anyway, they used to have this thing called no frills, and it was just a black and white box with stuff in it, cereal, whatever it is, whatever it was. That's how his album covers look. And this was his best cereal ever. I'll tell y'all at the end of this. I ain't gonna forget. Trust me. Let's keep it going.
everyone, including Drake, thought he was gonna sign to OVO, but things didn't go as Drake envisioned.
I was thinking about it for a bit. The vision wasn't there anymore, you know?
Instead of signing to OVO, The Weeknd shocked everybody by signing to Republic Records. But it was this move that gave him the resources to blow up and not live in the shadow of Drake. The Weeknd would go on to drop Kissland as his first studio project, which...
That's what I'm saying. I actually thought the trilogy was, even though it was a bunch of songs from all them other joints, that came out before Kissland, so I thought that was his first studio project. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe I could be wrong. I could have swore trilogy came out before Kissland, but Kissland is classic. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit here and hold you, but yeah, let's keep it going.
People didn't really...
But hold up, before I even go further, let me speak on this whole Drake situation. I think that The Weeknd made the greatest decision of his life not signing with Drake. Because I'm telling you right now, The Weeknd is big because he didn't sign with Drake. And I think that Drake taking those 6 songs and putting them on Take Care, to me, those songs is the reason why Drake is where he's at today. People could say whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying? They could say whatever they want to say. But The Weeknd is the reason why Drake is so big, in my opinion. Because those songs on Take Care define Drake. All of them joints. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what it is. Now, you got your other songs too that came after that. But I believe Take Care is his highest selling album of all time. And you take, I believe Take Care has what, 12 songs or 13, 14 songs or something like that. I'm not sure. But 6 of those songs was The Weeknd's. They was his songs that he gave to Drake, or Drake kind of took from him. You know what I'm saying? Drake wanted his whole album, actually. But there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So this is why I say, people could say, oh, Drake put The Weeknd on. Yeah, he put The Weeknd on. The Weeknd gave him music and blew him up. Now, Drake had, it was the album before that, because Drake was on. But I think The Weeknd was the one who pushed him into superstardom. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't because of The Weeknd. It was because of The Weeknd's music. It wasn't because The Weeknd was big already and then he pushed him. No, he gave him songs and those songs pushed him up there. That's what I'm saying. And I think that, to be honest with you, I think Drake tried to do that with every album. He tried to follow suit with everybody and say, okay, now I got The Weeknd to push me up. Let me use this person. Let me use this person. Let me use this person. Let me use this person to see where I go with it. So let's keep it going.
receive well, but he bounced back with Beauty Behind the Madness, which had fucking bangers like The Hills and Can't Feel My Face. He followed that up with Starboy, which was basically a project that introduced his persona where The Weeknd got to flex his newfound fame a little bit. And then came his final trilogy. First came After Hours, where he looks very defeated, he's bleeding, and it looks like he's living in a nightmare. And then Dawn FM, where he appears aged and wistful, but somehow stuck. And finally, Hurry Up Tomorrow, where he looks haunted, surrounded by darkness, unable to wait till tomorrow to end the past life of The Weeknd. Now, The Weeknd just announced a tour called After Hours Till Dawn with Playboi Carti, and we're gonna be giving away 2 tickets. All you gotta do is buy me a coffee down below to keep fueling this caffeine addiction that I have to keep these videos coming, or drop a comment and let us know how we did on this video, what you liked, what you didn't like, who we should cover next, and we'll be officially announcing the winner on Instagram, so go follow me there 30 days from the day this was uploaded.
All right, man. That was a pretty good video. Yeah, man. So this is the end of The Weeknd. That's his last album as The Weeknd. He's going to go by Abel, I believe, or we don't know. I think he's going to take off for a while. He might take off for like at least 5 years. He don't really need to do anything. He's been out since, I believe, 2012, 2011 or something like that, something like that. He don't need to do anything else. His career is solidified. He's a legend. He's probably going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. There's really nothing he else needs to do. He don't really need to do anything else. The last album was a classic. He had 3 classics. Bro, The Weeknd has, to me, maybe I'm biased, but The Weeknd has all classics. Every album he did is great to me. Every one of them. I can't even sit here and tell you that I heard a bad Weeknd album. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say Kissland. I highly disagree with that. Highly. You know what I'm saying? Highly disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? But still in all, some people, they look at The Weeknd as just this regular guy, because I don't think that he runs around and brags how big he is. That's another thing too, the reason why he's massive. But again, we're talking about a dude who is the only dude just doing stadiums by himself. You know what I'm saying? And they're sold out. Like, I'm telling you, you've never been to a Weeknd concert, man. Yeah, you gotta go. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta go. And I'm probably gonna go check out the Dawn Until Dawn. What's the name? I'm gonna probably go check that joint out. It's crazy because I was in South America when he did the Sao Paulo joint. I wasn't in Brazil though, but I was in South America when he did that. I wish I would have loved to have went to that. And just for a point of reference, so y'all can see what I'm talking about, how big this was. Check this out. Yeah, I'm not gonna play the sound because they're gonna probably try to copy or extract it. So I'm just gonna let y'all see a little bit of how big this concert was. Check this out. Look at that. That's nuts. It's crazy. It's like almost, I believe that was 100,000 people. And I can't find another joint that actually showed more than that. But yeah, I just wanted y'all to see that real quick. So yeah, like I said, Weeknd's that guy. He's always been that guy. And I just want to say, yeah, man, I'm happy that he made it through his journey and he did his thing. I think that when he comes back, it's going to be something brand new and fresh. Maybe he's working on something that we never heard before. And yeah, man. So that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. I appreciate y'all. This will be out today. So tomorrow, back at it, baby. Back in the studio. I'll see y'all, man. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See y'all. Peace. Bye.